live right now?
Yeah, adjust your camera there, Mark.
Doo-doo.
Tell me what to do.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Looking at them titties, bruh.
Sweet, sweet sugar.
What up, everybody?
Hello, it is June the 23rd,
We out here.
2025.
We out here, bro.
Did you miss us?
Is your mic even on? Oh,
Yeah, I see you more than I see him.
This
so
guy
yeah,
muted me.
I
This
missed
whole
this
time
guy.
I was muted.
It's nice to be
Yeah,
back.
man.
It's nice to be back. We weren't here last week. We took a little hiatus.
Yeah, man. Scheduling. It's gonna come up when we go on these like rotations where we get close to not being able to like being around weekends and stuff. Because you never really want to release on weekends.
No, it's bad. Well, you
Nobody
could.
wants to
but-
hear your voice on weekends.
Yeah, man. People
Well, I don't
are
want to hear
out
the
doing
preacher
it.
either, but I got to hear him
People are
You
out
go to
here
church?
doing it, man.
sometimes.
You don't go to church.
And you
Yeah.
know why that statistic is? Because there's so many people that they attribute to being like bored in offices and stuff that don't work Monday to Friday,
COVID.
that you can leverage that type of audience if you release on a Monday to Friday in like the afternoon or like in the evening, depending on what you're trying to get.
Sure.
But it's like there's so many people that work in office work that probably do their job but don't want to get more things assigned to them. So they're like, I'll just pretend to be busy. Facts.
This is true.
Right.
I know a lot of people at work who pretend to be busy. So
Big facts. Big facts. Anybody been watching that? Did you guys like when I played that Drewski? This could have been records.
In like small sample sizes. With us
Dude.
sitting there for an hour straight.
Yeah, it's
straight
hard.
Drewski, like, come on.
It's hard because he's just so unbelievable, and you get to the point where you're like, I'm pretty sure this is fake. Like, it's getting so outrageous at this point. Like, there's no way. And you see some people that you're like, oh, this guy's from social media.
yes,
He was invited here. But,
there's like the one dude who was doing the Miles Morales the whole time.
Yeah.
From like the Spider-Man
yeah.
game, and I'm like, what? And he's
can
like,
you pull up this last one they did in, I think they did in Africa or something, and this white girl drops the N-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can find it.
I don't watch these things either.
I usually just catch them in clips on.
I was only watching because he put it on the other day at work. Yeah.
And you want to know if like it's just so funny, man. And in this video, you can genuinely tell that the chick doesn't like she's fully not aware.
That is a joke.
No, that she like dropped the N-bomb.
Oh,
And,
that's just
like,
life.
And he's like, "Hey now," and she's like, "Oh."
Like that's not okay here. That's
Yeah,
not-
and she's like, "Oh, I thought I said this."
Is this even the right one?
she ain't bright.
It's dim.
I just want to take one moment while we point out the new artwork we have here. We have
Yeah, it's
a
looking good
new.
in here.
We have a new inspiration. Someone has joined us who's also on the cover of the 2024 Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Martha Stewart. And if you haven't caught a glimpse of her thirst trap from last year, catch a glimpse of her thirst trap.
I hope I can find a Snoop Dogg in the
can't
same
find it.
type of style and then have it side by side.
If that artist that I'd met at the beer festival would ever actually get back to me, that would have been nice because she probably could have painted that for us.
Probably.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you know, some people are just too shy to come on the
Live by
internet,
the
be a part of it.
You live by the brush, you die by the brush.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
You know? Yeah.
What do we think about since Mark can't find this video?
Yeah, it's so bad.
One obscure clip from
Yeah.
Drewski videos.
Yeah, exactly. What do we think? Did we get the chance to watch the finals?
Which finals first? Because hockey ended last week.
Oh,
NBA,
I meant like last night.
NBA finals last night. I watched some of the game. Yeah. At halftime, it was a 1-point game.
Tyrese.
legit
cooking.
one.
Indiana was winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very back and forth
Haliburton.
for the first 2 quarters. I came back a little bit later in the third quarter, obviously. I think OKC was up at that point, but it was an entertaining game for me. I talked to one guy coming into work today, and he was like, it just wasn't. Maybe because he said he didn't have any teams in the final, he wasn't super invested. But he's like, it felt like there was something missing, I guess, for this NBA Finals. Now, I guess it's because
Haliburton's
both-
Achilles, bro.
both teams are not teams you'd find in the playoffs every year, so it was a little different. But I like that part where it's like new blood in the finals,
Yeah, it was historic either way.
Yeah.
Either way, it was historic. Either way, a Canadian won a championship.
which is also nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matherin played sick down
Yeah.
the stretch.
And, think about it. I put on our X, I said TJ McConnell, White Boy of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, he was killing it. White Boy of the Year, man. And he literally, after he got 2 or 3 in a row, he looked at the OKC bench and went, timeout. I was like, that's a little cocky. And then they came back, and I was like, it didn't really age well. But I think up until middle of the third, they were playing pretty competitively. And then it just got taken. You can't, they didn't have their guy. And that says a lot because they do have a really skilled team.
Okay.
But it also shows you how, thin the margins are of, how quickly it's just no. It just happened in Game 6.
Yeah.
Game 6, Indiana blew them out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's how does that happen? And then 2 days later,
Who wants it more?
right.
Who wants it more? And apparently they did.
What do you
After
say?
TJ McConnell went for 12 straight points for the Pacers in the third quarter. There, it was
Oh,
I'm
really?
still that Nick. It's like, whoa.
Easy.
Okay.
No, he played good though. He had a lot of Thunder fans shook.
Yeah, and they had to switch it up. They tried. They knew that guys like Siak, because when I saw that, I was like, oh, imagine what Siakam's thinking right now. He's like, yo, I was already gonna play really hard, but now it's
Yeah,
it's on me, man.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of stepped up. TJ,
Yeah, everybody.
Toppin,
Yeah, they're
Neesmith.
Who are you guys going for here?
Indiana.
Everyone's going for Indiana.
I like the underdog story of Indiana winning it, but
Okay.
honestly, I didn't really care that much.
Yeah,
that's
I-
I don't
Thunder-
think many
Thunder
people
were
were
heavy.
really.
I
invested
enjoyed
in
the
it.
back and
heavily
forth, but I was
favorites.
more excited when Indiana scored and took a lead. I was
Okay.
like, "My, let's go!"
Because who they play in the first round?
No, I don't know, but every
Every time they played
every
somebody, it was
series
like,
they were
oh,
in, they were the underdogs.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
like Knicks in 6, no,
Cavs.
Knicks in 7. It's like no, they beat the Cavs.
But they beat the Knicks in 5, 6,
games?
6.
and 6. Yeah.
I thought it was his calf that blew up, but it was his Achilles.
That's
Well, they're saying
Yeah,
it's like
watching
the same
that
thing as
snap,
KD,
man.
right?
Watching that when it goes you see
The
the
ripple.
reverb where it's you see the muscle and you're like, oh, he ain't playing.
Yeah, the ripple.
You're like, oh, that wasn't a flop. I automatically assume someone's flopping, and then when they, when you saw that, and then he started crying and shit, and you're
Those
like,
non-contact injuries.
Those are the worst.
Those
Yeah.
are the worst.
what do you think? Do you think something like that when they can get good shots like that at Haliburton, but do you think it's yo, this is probably a really sensitive moment for this guy? Should we be putting this on live television and watching him laying down crying on the court?
You
You
see that
know,
emotion, man.
That's why you saw that the team did a circle around them
Mm-hmm.
because I think they were trying to
Motivate the team.
get and I think they were trying to also shield this guy
Yeah.
from the
cameras.
cameras
Absolutely, yeah.
and all that shit and let him have a moment
Let
of
him have his
vulnerability
moment. Absolutely. Yeah.
before.
And I think at these moments in these games, you need to feel those emotions, and especially, it's at this point, and I hate to say, I'd probably cry too. It's you're in the biggest series, possibly of your career.
Well, and you look at someone like Miles Turner, who this was his 10th. He's the longest tenured Indiana player, and this is the closest he's ever gotten to getting there. And he's seen 9 seasons, and he's like probably telling himself, this was the apex. Like, to get here now again with like this dude being injured and whatever it is and contracts expiring, it's very unlikely that you would have the same chance to run it back. You know, like, that's it.
And
try again in 5 years.
When you look back at some teams, like, I mean, Chicago did it, where they ended up in a couple of finals back to back to back. The Oilers just ended up in 2 back to back. But like, I feel for guys. Marian Hossa, he went to 3 Stanley Cups consecutively, all with
Didn't he end up getting one?
3 different teams. And it was the 3rd team that he was with, he won a Stanley Cup. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible that some guys make it once. It's rare that you're going to make it twice. If you're Tom Brady, you'll make it 7 times with 2 teams. Or you can be Marian Hossa and make it 3 times with 3 teams and win it once.
Or be Michael Jordan, go 6 for 6.
And go 6 for 6.
That's my goat.
So, I was watching a podcast that has LeBron James and Steve Nash.
Okay.
Mind of the Game. And they were talking about the difference with the NBA compared to other sports, where a lot of times people don't get the same like appreciation based on skills if they have or have not won a championship.
True.
And like, why is that so specific to basketball, where a lot of people's like overall accomplishments get overshadowed because like they haven't won, where other in sports isn't that big of a deal as it is compared to the NBA.
I get what you mean. But I think that I think it's the same with every sport, to be honest with you. If you are, like, I look at, there's 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that I look at who are phenomenal quarterbacks and never won. Dan Marino being one of them. He put up a lot of records in the NFL during his career in Miami, and unfortunately never won a Super Bowl to solidify your records in the sport. If you can do all these great accolades, that's one thing. But if you can't win a championship, that's something else. And I see the correlation and why that's such a difference. Because, yeah, sure, you can have all these individual stats, and you can be a great athlete and a great player in your sport. But then if you can't win the championship, it's always going to be your accolades are always they're looked at, but they're not truly respected in a way unless you won a championship on top of that.
It's very interesting when you look at it, because these team-based sports, it's like, what if they were a phenomenal player, they were just not in a good franchise, or like they didn't have the team around them.
Yeah.
But then there's the argument of, well, if you were that great or you had that much greatness, you would make it happen.
Yeah.
You would put yourself in
would be the
positions
one to
to
carry
like
the team.
get
I'm
people
getting that.
signed, or like, you know. So I think a lot of the things that, when you look at like end of season championship run, it's like, okay, that's like where the intangibles come in.
Right.
That's where your ability to like rally people up and do the thing and keep people motivated and shit like that. Where like you look at Indiana Pacers and you're like, it's unfortunate because they still won. Like, OKC still won, but it's like it was just a freak accident where, you know, and now people are going to say, like, it's like the Lakers in the bubble.
Yeah.
It's like, did their chip really, oh, well, if Tyrese would have played, blah, blah, right? So you're always going to have those, like, I don't know, naysayers and stuff.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
I think it's just interesting because everybody's aware it's a team sport. So, like, the responsibility is on more than just one person.
Exactly.
So to say that like that person didn't win a championship, it's like, no, he was part of teams that didn't win a championship. Him himself,
He is him.
Yeah.
He is him, bro.
But so the other quarterback in the NFL that I look at for that is Jim Kelly, because no other quarterback in the NFL has gone to 4 consecutive Super Bowls.
Was it 4 or 3?
4. They lost to the Redskins first, then the Giants, and then twice to Dallas.
Oof.
4 years in a row. And I remember I went to a Bills game, and this girl's like, "Oh man, I'm such a Bills fan. I'm huge." And I'm like, "Who's that?" And it's Jim Kelly giving a speech. She's like, "I have no idea." I'm like, "All right, you're not really a Bills fan, because if you are, you'd know." But then I watched a Football Life story the other day on Doug Flutie. Now, let me tell you about this dude. It's not really much to tell. Everyone really knows his story. But Boston College gets put on the map due to a Hail Mary pass that helps them win the game. They go on to win the Rose Bowl. That same year, biggest game of his career. Then he goes to the USFL when it was first developed. He got a huge contract. Donald Trump promised him $7 million in the USFL if he would have played there. League folded a few years later. He goes to the NFL. Doesn't do very, very well. He's a very short dude. He's like 5'9", and he's a quarterback. And people are saying like he can't see over the O-line, But he had that Flutie magic, as they say. And he, like, watching this documentary, he's like, I didn't do anything special. I rolled to the corner and it was open, so I just trotted into the end zone and I scored a touchdown. They're like, that's that Flutie magic. And he's like, I just made a play. You know, but then when he joined the CFL, and I never looked at it this way, they say that Doug Flutie is like the Wayne Gretzky of the CFL. And when you think about it, he really, really was. He played for 4 teams, 3 teams, Calgary, Edmonton, and somebody else, Toronto.
Yeah.
Calgary, Toronto, and I think that was it. Did well, won like 4 Super Bowls in the CFL. And that's when also solidified his career. It was the CFL championships of the Grey Cups. But I mean, Boston College, he did well. He won an Orange Bowl. USFL, no big deal. CFL, it's a perfect fit for him and the way he plays football. And then he went back to the NFL, and they screwed him. But they screwed him in Buffalo, and then he ended up going to San Diego and finally retired, where he was the number 1 over Drew Brees at the time.
Whale's vagina.
And yeah, as a Canadian, somebody who doesn't fit the mold of being that football player look, like, your Martin St. Louis in hockey, they say you're too short. You just never give up. So don't let that be a lesson to you kids out there. If people are telling you can't do it, use that motivation to say, yes, I can. And then go on to win 4 Super Bowls or 4 Grey Cups, and then you're a champ.
Speaking of legacy, what do we think about Jon Jones retiring?
Oh, that was a big shock to me.
What do we think about the whole saga where he didn't want to fight against someone that he considered that would like tarnish his legacy? And do you think it's just?
Is that any different than Floyd Mayweather fighting anyone that he didn't think he could beat?
I just think it's interesting because I think half of it is like you're playing into the media to hype it up. So at what point was he like, oh, I'm going to like play off this enough and then I'm eventually going to sign the fight. I'm going to like bring it to a hype by like ducking it, saying all this. Because some of it was so unrational. Like some of it is so ridiculous. You're like, this guy can't be serious.
You're right.
You're like, there's no way this guy thinks like this, right? Because it's just ridiculous. So then, but now that he actually retired, it's like, oh, so like this wasn't like a hype thing.
No.
Like maybe he actually believed that like he wanted to fight like, some of these crazy people like Luke Rockhold and like all these stuff. Like I would accept a fight by this guy. And you're like, dude, but like with all rights, this guy like won the whatchamacallit, like the unified like heavyweight thing where because like Jon Jones was out, guys fight for like the interim heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, realistically, and knowing that with all your experience you have, you would know. Like, this is just how it works.
Right.
So, like, you got to fight this guy, man. So then it's like, oh, dude, was he really worried about getting knocked out? Like, that's crazy, man. You said you're a killer. Like, you said you're a killer.
Well, let's just remember, with every sport, time is the biggest thing that works against you. And by that, I mean age. And you getting older, there's new people who are starting eventually. The new is going to take out the old at some point. Yeah. So do you want to be that guy who's going to get knocked out and possibly severely injured near the end of your career?
Yeah, but it's like right now his whole reputation is built on like just creating like friction, right?
Yeah.
Like none of it's like, yo, I opened up like a kid's school or whatever, and people are like, wow, that's crazy, John. Like it's like, no, we think he's like doing blow off some Filipino's head, and they're like, wow, this guy's crazy. I can't believe he's gonna fight Tom Aspinall after being all fucking coked out in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right? And then he doesn't do it, and it's like, oh, this is a really sour end to like what I've been following for a long time. This is upsetting. Just everything's like,
I see what you're saying 100%, especially because you were probably looking forward to something coming out of it.
yeah.
But so it's a letdown. But I'm never gonna be the one that, like, I get it, but I don't know their body, as opposed to them knowing, like, maybe if I take one more the wrong way, or
And some people, and maybe it's like, imagine the toll of like going through all the media hype and the press, and like someone that close to the public and that high of like celebrity is probably really used to it. But there's probably like a more intense amount of like drawing up the hype and playing into it, and like, you know what I mean? And then to recover from that and do it again and recover from that, and on top of the physical injuries and everything, it's, I don't know, it's a fucking wonderful thing, man. I love watching these guys punch each other in the face. I think it's great, man. Like,
so are you sad now that he's retired?
I don't really care, honestly. I was just kind of like, that kind of like,
just wasn't what you were expecting to hear.
yeah. And it's like David Goggins saying that nothing can stop him, and then something stops him.
Was it cancer?
No, he just like the guy that's like, I'll run till I die, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and then being like, yo, it's raining out, I ain't running.
Yeah.
You're like, bro,
I definitely feel like there's been
what are we doing here?
a lot left on the table in terms of Jon Jones's career.
Yeah. You've been talking so much about this and like playing into it and poking and prodding.
Maybe he'll surprise you. Maybe in like a couple of weeks he'll be like, I am unretiring and I'm going to come back and do this one fight.
Well, it's interesting that some people do that where they retire and then they just wait to draw out hype to negotiate double the money, because they're like, I'm already rich, so strategically I could sit out for a year or two. Henry Cejudo did it, and then he said it was just to like stay out, and then when you announce the comeback, it's gonna draw way more hype than it would just continuing to fight. Exactly. So it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's a little bit like,
but that's been a strategy within
devious.
boxing and MMA for years. So.
Devious, man. Just fight each other, man.
Well, they want to.
Dog.
That's our security system right here.
Yeah,
hard
going
work.
off. Get over here, dog.
Only cost you $2.99 for a bag of milk bones.
I think it's
free security.
I think it's Emily coming home.
Well,
yeah, get out of here.
It's a robber. Let's take a guess. Pull. Is it a stranger?
Here, you know what the guess is?
Boom.
Boom. Answered.
Ralph's just being a bad boy today.
I am the answer.
Badass Ralph.
Speaking of answers,
He's wrecking it, man.
you think Rockets acquiring Kevin Durant's the answer for them to win a chip? I think it's a whack trade, man.
They made it to the conference finals without him.
I think they. I don't know. I think you're replacing generational talent with an agent. Jalen Green.
Okay, why hasn't he displayed this generational talent?
Listen, I think sometimes it takes time. You got to be surrounded by
How
the
many
right
years
people.
in this guy got? Like 3?
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying.
If you're
Dylan
if
Brooks,
you're a
man.
star on
You
your
haven't shown
team,
it
you got to
now.
start
Dylan
leading,
Brooks.
and that's how you get teams built around.
Yo, man.
Dylan Brooks, like, that guy's just an instigator.
But
Yeah, he shoots it decent, but, like, he's not tipping the scales.
I also think this fucking dog, man. I also think, yeah, like, are certain teams finding out that, like, the grassroots program might also not be, like, the best. Like, you saw it in OKC, but that's because they robbed the Clippers.
With
Right?
the Paul George trade?
Yeah.
Oh, worst
yeah,
trade
yeah.
in the history of
You know what I
basketball.
mean? So it's like, okay, some of it is like you kept draft picks, but it's like you also like swindled a dude to get an enormous advantage. So I think some people are realizing too, like this, keeping people in and training them in house and shit like that. Like really focusing on that might also not be the answer to getting there, because then people just get, it just doesn't work.
Right.
Like you need to get that superstar and the hype and like people supporting your team and stuff like that.
Well, so, yeah, absolutely.
I think Houston lost that trade.
Yeah.
Why?
Or, sorry, no, Phoenix lost that trade.
Why?
Like, not getting, like, Cam Whitmore and
Right.
anybody else.
Right.
Their-
You're saying they
their
could have got
last
more
year's draft
players.
pick. Yeah, they should have got more.
Yeah.
What's his name? Reed Shepherd?
Right. No, that's fair. And I think that's a lot of the times too where you're like, yo, after that Paul George trade, it kind of brought up the market cap to now what people expect for mediocre players.
Because even, like...
Where it's like,
a
even
week
if you're a
prior-
shit player, you should be asking for more.
More, yeah.
Because this guy got traded. He was a superstar, and they absolutely they bankrupted them.
Well,
so
let's say
you
this.
shouldn't take it too easy.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's going to go down in history as, top 15, top 20 player in all of NBA history.
Yeah.
And look what he fetched.
Yeah.
Like, peanuts.
Yeah.
Whereas a week
loves
ago,
the
you
game.
got, like, draft pick after draft pick for Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
the
just,
dude that shoots well, but he's got T-Rex arms. Like, come
dude,
on.
it's great. It's crazy, man. And then when people go like, oh, it's all scripted, it's like, man, some of this shit you see, there's no way, man.
Well, I still remember
Like, it's too creative, dude.
the whole Luka trade, and watching some celebrities' reactions, people were like losing their minds. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yo, man, like this is no way this is happening. I think the NBA is like the soap opera of sports.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
There's so much drama
Yeah.
100%.
within
Yeah.
the NBA. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, for next year, because I'm ready for the show.
Yeah, I think Cooper
Get your
Flag.
popcorn. Ready.
Draft is tomorrow.
Yeah, Cooper Flag getting drafted. I think that's
Ace
gonna.
Bailey.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a big. That's gonna be a big day, and those guys coming in. I always hate when they get a draft pick or like they end up. This guy comes out of college or international, and he's a huge hype, and then he turns out to be a bust, and then the whole year. It's no reporting on basketball. It's just reporting
Reporting
how
on
this
this
dude's
guy.
like a bust.
Yeah.
It's like when you looked at Markel Fultz, it's like a lot of the media around that was
Well,
like,
you got the yips.
yeah. And it was just like all
He
of this
forgot how to
random, it was all of this random shit where it was like during the Olympics when, what's her name? Simone Biles said like, oh, mental health. And then it all became this like taboo thing where it's like, oh, well, now we're not even talking about sports anymore. We're talking about like who's ducking sports because
Yes,
the mental health
'cause the mental
and how
health.
many people are coming out and talking about it. You're
Yeah.
like, bro, put the fries in the bag, ESPN.
Dude,
ESPN, put the fries in the bag, man.
after watching the David Beckham documentary that was on Netflix, that's when you learn about mental health before mental health was a thing, with
Yeah, man.
nobody getting outlets for help.
Dude, imagine if
Because
you...
he was, like, at the pinnacle.
Dude, and like,
So he was,
they're
tabloids.
way more racist in Europe.
yeah, he he had an own goal in the World Cup the year he was the captain for England, and the death threats came. And that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about. They mentioned it earlier last week after Skinner had lost.
Yeah, they were sending it to his wife.
Yeah, it's Game 4. They were getting
Saying they're gonna kill their family.
Letters
and shit.
and everything to the house, and I was like, Jesus, man, like, yeah, I get it. You can be a fan. I understand it. And yes, it sucks when you can easily point or shift the blame to an individual on a team because of their lack of play or whatever the case is. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying if this guy was getting death threats, this seems to be the case in my eyes, that people feel this way.
Yeah, you know what, guy? Don't invest your mortgage on Stuart Skinner saving under 15 goals or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? You bet your whole life on this guy's performance against another professional, man. Come on.
But if that's the case, then you know what? If I was Stuart Skinner and I got one of those letters from somebody, from John Smith Jr., but you are a goalie. Come on down, man. You can start for me today. You let in 5 goals in the first period. Just consider yourself never to play hockey ever again. Locally, professionally, whatever the hell you want it to be. Don't come out here and start chirping me if you can't do what I do.
Who was the dude that got in the DM argument when he told them that he... and then he's like talking about like, yo, fuck your mama, like... Because the guy's like, yo, you fucked my parlay. Like, you're a bum. He's like, no, fuck you, man. You're a bum. And they got in this huge argument. I feel like it wasn't Miles Turner. It was someone else.
There's a lot of dudes.
Or like DeMarcus Cousins like scratching his balls and making a fan sniff his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got banned for the season.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like the Mexican basketball.
Yeah, or like the Philippines league or something. And he scratched his nuts.
Jawing at this dude. And like DeMarcus Cousins is like 7 foot tall, 280 pounds. Man. Like he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. Dude, I think that's so funny, man.
He's like, yo, this guy's jawing at me. Like, here, you know what? Sniff my nuts. Scratches his nuts and then puts his hand in this dude's face. A grown man.
That's disrespect.
That's disrespect. That's like, disrespect.
Yeah, I think slapping somebody would be more respectful.
What do you think? What do you think is the line for you when this is fighting?
It depends. It really does.
And do you do like a physical shove or whatever? Because like I feel at this point, like this intermediary, like yo, I gotta create this. It's like. No, I'm coming out from my ankle with the jankiest uppercut.
So like, last 2 times I've gotten like really upset playing sports is I was playing soccer a few years ago before I moved out here, and it's a men's league, and these guys are like, some of them were in their I was probably in my late 20s, and some of these guys are in their 30s, 40s, and they're like, hey guys, we all work for the government, so let's just take it easy, have a clean game. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And next thing I know, I'm getting somebody slide tackling me from behind, taking out my ankles. Mm-hmm. And I remember pinning this guy on the ground. I'm like, are you fucking serious? He's like, what? I'm like, you guys are coming to us saying, let's just have a friendly game, and here you are taking me from behind, studs up, to take out my ankles. Yeah, I'm like, you fucking want to do this? Let's just have a fight instead. Yeah. And then teams got heated, and nothing came of it, but it was enough to get their attention, to say the least.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the ref's fault too.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
So that was my other
thing. Stopped calling fouls.
Yeah.
So we were playing rugby in high school. It's my last game, and we had a player on the other side of the field who was down and not moving. So I'm telling the team, like, yo, just kick the ball out. They're like, no, man, we're gonna keep it in. Like, we have a player down now for like 2 minutes. Yeah. And I'm looking at the ref, and I'm like, you gonna fucking call something? And he's like, no, the ball's still in play. I'm like, the guy's been down the other side of the field for 2 minutes already, and you guys aren't doing a fucking thing. I'm trying to get these guys to kick the ball out, and no one will. So blow the fucking whistle. And he's like, no, not blowing the whistle. Till finally a play ends it. Our guy's down. They bring the medical staff in. They get him out. And I gave the coach one of these. You're a fucking piece of shit. And my coach told me after we got back to
You gave him a card?
No.
What'd you do?
I was like, because we were on the goal line.
Fucking
like,
jerk
you,
it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So.
And
monitors in the way.
The coach, after the game, like when we got back to that school and took showers and everything like that, he's like, just so you know, I found out what you did to the coach or did to the ref at the end of the game. And he's like, you'd be suspended for next year. I'm like, this is my last high school game of rugby ever, and this guy can go fucking suck it.
You do it to him too. Like,
Yeah.
Here's one for you too, buddy.
But our coach is awesome. But at the same time, he's just like, I didn't know that's what you did. I'm like, that's what he told on me? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Fuck out of here.
So, yeah, I've gotten in some heated situations in some games, but it's like, it takes a lot to get me to that edge to really want to fight somebody in a game. And it also really, like I said, it depends on the situation. So, yeah. You?
The question that I was asking, Jeff, like if someone walked up to you in a bar and started like jawing at you, how quickly would you like, all right, it's go time?
Again?
Yeah, what's my temperament?
What? Yeah, like, am I?
I don't know, like you're like I don't know. I'm just like usually when I'm out, I'm just like watching the world go around me like this.
Yeah, I'm having a good time with my friends.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But then,
Yeah.
like, say if you, like, bump into someone or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you're like, all right, I left it alone, and now this guy, you can tell, you know what I mean? He's starting to, like,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right. It's like, what do? Wait for the guy to walk up to you? And then it's like, bah!
No, so
You know what I mean? You're like, I ain't even...
Hold this.
I ain't even trying. I ain't even trying to talk to you,
It
man.
was last summer. Last summer I was home
And who knows? I'm probably not even capable of that. So, like, don't even, like, you know, just don't even talk to me. Like...
Ryan's getting in a fist fight next time he hits
Yeah,
someone.
and then I'm getting knocked out for slapping someone.
sometimes it needs to happen.
You know?
You got out of the Uber and this guy's like, it was like one of those moments like in Superbad where it's like, where's my car? And he's like, you can't park in staff parking. You're not staff. What are you, some kind of idiot? And it's just like, shut up, faggle. So there was this dude, we pulled up to this pub, like an OJ's. It's like 1 o'clock. And this certain pub, it's supposed to be open till 2 and they closed early. And I remember getting out of the Uber and I'm like, getting visibly irritated because I'm like, why did we come to this new pub if this place is closed? So I'm getting visibly irritated with my friends. And this one guy's like, why are you getting mad, man? Like, you didn't know it was closed? I'm like, listen, dude, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Please just stop talking to me. I'm trying to deal with something. And then he persisted and persisted. And I was like, that's it. And I was about to go over to chug this guy. And my friend's like, Rich, stop. And just grabbed me. And my brother's like, yo. I'm like, well, tell this fucking idiot just to shut up. I'm not in a good mood already that I'm here. And we cabbed and left the place where we were having a really good time to come to a place that's closed now to make new plans. I'm like, I don't know you, sir. Just shut your mouth.
Well, it's interesting because it's one of those things where you're like, you have to like take a step outside of reality and be like, all right, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, okay, is everybody fucking with me here?
That's
So-
exactly what it was. I chirped too. I was like, is this guy being for real? Like,
Yeah,
is this happening?
like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I was gonna tell you about the U-Haul situation because that's what immediately came to mind.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Okay, so get this. We got this couch to move everything. We rent a U-Haul. All the U-Haul places are like convenience stores and all these different like dealerships, right?
yeah.
But they're just like places that they hold keys. So we have a pickup scheduled for 9:30 at a convenience store location, whatever, in the north end.
Okay.
Get there, no problem. We see the truck, right? Go, store's closed. Look at their open thing. Oh, it says they're open at 9 o'clock. She's like, oh, well, like, it says they're open. I'm looking inside, convenience store's pitch black. So I'm like looking around
Is it
like,
a holiday? What day of the week is this?
this
paint us
was
a
this was yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday.
So that's a Monday. That's a Sunday.
Sunday. So, but whatever, you could still rent, and like it said on Sunday,
Okay.
9 o'clock.
Okay.
So she calls U-Haul. U-Haul calls some manager, and they're like, yeah, like something emergency.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, cool. Dude just strolls up in a minivan, fucking windows down, whatever. You see him like organizing some shit in the van, and you're like looking around like, yo, man, fucking
Yeah, I'm the customer.
Yeah, or just whatever, man. Like, wouldn't you be like, oh, fuck. Like, yeah, they called me in and the store should have been open like 30 minutes. So you're like looking around like, all right, cool, no big deal. So then he's like, yeah, I have to look for the keys 1 second. So you're like, easy, fucking guy. Relax.
You're ruining his Sunday.
Yeah. Like, I already fucking inconvenienced him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've kind of been waiting here. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Emily, because Emily did most of like the legwork by calling people and shit. I was just there being annoyed. Yes. I was just there being annoyed, not doing anything
you were just
about
being a typical boyfriend.
Yeah. So then the guy goes, oh, someone left it, but we can't find the keys. So you're like, man. Like,
wait, he's looking in the van?
So he's like checking the wheel wells and like the gas tanks and whatever to see if the keys are there.
Right.
And you're like, all right, man. Like, if this is how you handle the vehicles, I don't know if I want to.
Is this the 80s? Like, this is how they did Coke deals back then?
Yeah, I was like, you should be surprised in today's day and age.
Yeah.
No one stole that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, that shit would be stolen.
Yeah.
I was like, you think people don't know that they hide keys under wheel wells? Like, it's a fucking known thing now.
I've been really watching a lot of 80s Miami Vice on TV. These are things that they did back in the 80s.
Or in your gas cap or whatever.
Continues.
So then he's like looking and he's like, oh, we can't find the keys. So it's like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? Mm-hmm. Do you have this keys to the fucking U-Haul or not? Like, I gotta move shit. I only rented it for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So what do we do here? Do you report it stolen, or is it just like, yeah, I'll just wait for this guy to fucking... He was supposed to return it at 11 p.m. yesterday. Where the fuck are the keys?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? Right? So, and it was probably just like some fucking dude that was like, oh, store wasn't open, so guess they'll get the keys tomorrow.
Yeah, probably, because a lot of people don't think to drop the keys in the Dropbox.
Or whatever, and they just don't think like, oh, you don't think someone else would possibly like rent this shit, right? Like, what the fuck? So then they moved us to another place to get the U-Haul and whatever.
To another U-Haul.
Yeah, because the guy was like, after he checked for the keys, he was just like, all right, and just went and fucking opened up the convenience store, and you're like, that's it, like, that's it. All right, dude. And we just, like, got in and left because he's like, oh, you guys are getting another, like, you guys are going to another place?
Okay.
It's like, well, yeah, you don't have the fucking keys, man.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
He's shocked by your
No, he just asked. I don't think he cared about anything. I don't think he cared if this convenience store was, like, on fire.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, he just didn't care.
How old is he?
Oh, he's probably in his 40s.
Okay.
So...
Yeah,
whatever. It was just interesting how, like, I was like, I wish I had, like, that little, like, giddy up. Mm. You know? Mm-hmm. Like, this guy, you were like, dude, nothing will faze this dude, man.
I was at the grocery store last week, and I was coming out. And just people these days, I don't understand them anymore. I sneezed. It's a perfectly normal thing for people to do. Now, like myself, I sneeze big.
They told you to put on a mask.
No. It's a great sign of relief sneezing. And I like to sneeze
right.
full out.
Full out. Get it out there.
So I'm usually a double. So
a double sneezer.
One. So I'm holding my grocery bags and I'm arm up like they teach you in the pamphlets.
Right.
Right into the arm.
Double barrel.
And in the distance I heard somebody say, ew. Oh my God. And before I could look up, I'm like, there's one type of person that this is.
White girl.
No. I don't think it matters on the race. What it matters on, if they're wearing a mask. And yes, she was. And I was like, are you... It's like I wanted to yell at her, but she's with kids. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you.
Do you know what you fucking put when you were a baby, do you know what you stuck your fingers in and then stuck in your mouth?
Yeah.
You'll be all right, man.
Yeah, we're going to survive.
This chick probably licks people's buttholes.
It's a sneeze,
and she's like, oh my God, a sneeze. It's like you had your tongue in someone's asshole, most likely. So
even when I sneezed during COVID, I still took my mask off. Because I didn't want my mask to get wet.
Yeah, get wet.
Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
And here's a fun fact for everybody out there. Think of every hand you've ever shook in your life.
Or door.
It's had a penis in it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Old dick hands.
Yeah. Cut
Big
and
news.
uncut.
Yeah, there you go.
Think about that.
Think about that. Fun fact. So even though you might have a great handshake with a good firm grip,
There was probably a dick on it.
and in
Yeah.
the person's hand that you shook.
I told Emily yesterday, I said, you want to hear a joke? I like my coffee like I like my women, with no one else's dick in it.
Why would you have a dick in your coffee?
Exactly. I think that makes perfect sense.
I think it does make perfect sense.
First I said I like my coffee like I like my men black.
Yeah, we knew that a long time ago.
And then I said the one about that.
In case everyone forgot, he seduced me
Yeah.
into doing
Yeah,
this
I got him. I was
podcast.
super drunk.
Here we are.
But yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting. And I only won like $50, and then I paid like a $400 bill. It was
Hey.
hilarious. Summertime. What are we excited for? What we got coming up?
Well,
I'm gonna go watch
this-
some- The rain's a little gloomy, but I like it.
You like more rain.
Yeah.
rain's good for the city.
It's nice.
It's good for the environment.
Cools it down.
Good for
Cools
the
it down.
animals. And as our one friend would say, it's great for the grass.
We needed this.
We needed that rain. Cool it down.
Plans for the summer? No. Not some major stuff. Just go home, visit family. Oh, my cousin's getting married. That's about it.
Who's this?
Congratulations to them.
His cousin.
I was talking to somebody on the way out of work today. And I'm like asking the same question, like, what do you got going on for the summer? You, the wife, the kids, going anywhere? He's like, we're going to Disneyland.
Oh.
I'm like, yo.
You said it in that tone?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like,
It's
this is the
expensive.
place where magic comes true.
It's expensive as
Did you
fuck,
see-
bro.
Okay, so
Hey.
wait, here's why.
Pull
So
up the
I guess
article where a guy spent $1,000 at. Continue with your story, but this has to do with Disneyland.
okay. So our friend, his wife, works, I guess, with some people with a lot of money, and they're all talking about, so one guy asks this other executive or CEO, he's like, what'd you get for your top seller this year? He's like, they're getting a trip to Mexico. And it's like, so then somebody asks, like, this other guy's like, what'd you get your secretary? And he's like, a trip to Disneyland. So that's how she found out she was going to Disneyland. And then it works out that their son is also his birthday around the same time that they're going. So everything is paid for them to go to Disneyland. I'm like, yo, I would definitely go to Disneyland if it was all paid.
Oh, if it was paid for.
Well,
then-
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But-
what I mean.
But would there still be things where you would be like, oh, this is still something I got to get ready for? Like, one thing would be the crowds, where you're like, dude, there's just so many people and you're waiting in line all the time,
Yeah.
and it's hot as fuck.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, and it's gonna be muggy and like gross, and everybody's gonna be trying to get in the same place, and like you're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to take any pictures because there's so many people walking around. It'd be a nightmare. But so they just reported June 21st. This the article came out.
That's
A
yesterday.
Disneyland guest almost spit out his coffee for a nearly $1,000 breakfast bill for a family of 5.
What?
$1,000 breakfast.
Okay, but this guy probably ordered something. Would they have what he ate? Because this is
They
crazy.
they had a dining experience at the Anaheim theme park where guests get to enjoy a 3-course breakfast and activities with Disney's princess. Okay, but
How many people are involved in this dinner? Breakfast.
so the price started at $142 per plate, so 5.
Okay, this guy's an idiot then. I don't feel bad.
Right, right. Okay, fair. But he said that it was $142. What would that be times 5? So yeah, that's about $1,000.
So I don't know why.
So, but just to show you how much it is, and he said it was a 7 out of 10.
the experience.
Yeah, he said 7 out of 10. It was like just going to a regular restaurant.
Okay.
He's like, if I find that goddamn mouse, I'm going to mug him.
Yeah. Like the way they mugged you.
Yeah, he said they got Mickey Mouse shaped waffles, macaroni and cheese, while the adults have options of short ribs, deviled eggs, and macaroni with a final course of cream puffs, sorbet, and other desserts. Yeah.
Okay, you're getting sorbet for
Service
breakfast.
was attentive
Sorbet.
and enthusiastic. Princesses were all trained pro actresses and spent a lot of time with the kids. I enjoyed it. But he said when he got the bill, it was $937
Okay. First of all, you gotta remember two
with a
things.
$150 tip.
You gotta remember two things, everybody. When you're going to a restaurant in a theme park, it's gonna cost you more. B, this guy had a 3-course meal and didn't look at the price. That's his own business. C,
Yeah, that's on him.
Facts. Bam, 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 bam.
yeah, the experience is gonna be good. You know where you are?
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
In Anaheim.
You're not gonna get really top-notch quality for anybody paying attention to your kids this attentively and entertaining them at the same time than you would at Disney World.
How much does a Disney princess make?
I don't think they make
don't
a
know.
lot.
Well, if they're anything
look it
like
up.
the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they weren't
Peanuts.
making much before.
What was it, like $15?
$15 said they were making, and they got a 400% increase, which works out to about $75 an hour.
Well, I was thinking if you went to Rogers Place and ate at a restaurant at Rogers Place, it'd probably be relatively the same. If you
For
brought
5 people?
it would definitely be
3
1,000.
courses?
I was like, it would be more than 1,000.
Way more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
first
like,
of all,
every beer would be
characters.
it costs like what, $35 for a hot dog and a drink.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Says
it's
here,
the inflation's
according
great.
to Google,
Yes.
character costumes at the Disneyland. So Disneyland actors make anywhere from like $20 to $26 per hour.
Oof.
They don't get tipped on top
Base
of that either.
base pay
They probably don't make tips.
$24.15.
Now,
per
do you
hour.
think if you are a more popular,
They're unionized?
Oh.
they should be.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an actor's guild, probably.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Actors Equity Association.
Well, because if you're on, especially if you do a Disney cruise line, I think you're part of the union as well. It gives you the opportunity to.
Would you
act.
ever want to work on a cruise?
When I was
on a
younger,
boat?
possibly. Yeah.
Dude, I think I'd be so scared of this thing, and then watching this new Netflix thing that's coming out.
the poop.
The fucking the shit coming up in the fucking
What is it, the poop-
dude.
poop-
It's like
poop
not
boat.
only are you in the middle of the ocean,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna get fucking sepsis. Like,
poop cruise.
yeah, it's like, dude, just kill me,
Yeah, Trainwreck poop
dude,
cruise.
just kill
on
me at
Netflix.
this point, man.
So
Madness.
wait, they just show like the underbelly of a cruise ship and like what happens to.
No. They
that
show
kind of
like
stuff?
the whole experience. So they interview all the people that were on this cruise ship, and so what happened was something happened with like their sewage. So then like they were having issues, and their whole sewage line backed up. So all of like the residents, their fucking toilets, and there was all flooded with shit.
Oh no.
And you're
That's
like,
awful.
and I'm in the middle
You
of
can't
the
escape it.
fucking ocean.
Yeah, you can't escape that. Yeah, that's scary. I would wanna be
Dude,
on that.
no fucking thank you, man.
Well,
That's-
but I mean, yes, it does suck.
People
But
are
these
just
are things that
drinking
happen.
and eating
Is it
fucking.
suck or is it shitty?
People just eating buffet and drinking all day and then shitting all that out.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Fucking Frank over here. We're at the
Oh,
unlimited
buddy.
shrimp cocktail.
Oh yeah, just shitting
3
out
hours later,
shrimps.
just ugh.
Oh, buddy. Dude,
Yeah.
I
Maybe I
just.
would want to be on that cruise, but yeah, okay.
But then imagine working there. Now it's like, hey man, I know this is you were signed up to cook in the kitchen, but like we're in an emergency. we need you to grab these like mop things,
Yeah.
and we need you to start squeegeeing the shit.
Yeah, they had everybody pooping in red biohazard bags, and people were like, "No, we're not doing that. We paid this astronomical amount of
Price,
money
yeah.
We ain't
to be
pooping
on
in
this
bags,
cruise. I'm not pooping
I
in a
wouldn't want to
bag."
poop in a bag either.
dude.
The floor is
What are you
fucking
testing
littered
me
with
for?
like
fucking
toilet
E.
I
water.
might
coli?
as well just
Look
put
at
my
this.
butt over the side of the railing and just shit off the boat.
Shit in the ocean.
Oh, they come in and
Look,
there's
look,
just skid marks
Oh.
all down the side.
Whatever, man.
You're standing on sewage.
But some of this is like people make memes about this, and then it happens, and you're like, no way.
Yeah, this is like definitely a Chappelle skit.
You know what I mean? Where like in one of the fucking kid shows, everybody flushes the toilet at the same time and
Yeah.
blows the
Blows up.
fucking thing.
Talking about memes and people and liars and whatnot, how about
11 Alpha.
The 11 Alpha, or
What's
the
that?
lone survivor from that plane crash, didn't actually
Elaborate.
Okay, so there was like an Air India plane.
The plane that crashed last week.
Right.
There's
And then
one
there was
survivor.
the lone survivor that they said. This guy emerged from the wreckage. He's like, man, I was in seat 11A on the flight. And
Yeah.
I was thrown from the ship. I saw all the bodies around me, and he walked to the hospital. He basically had like no injuries.
He went as soon as they crashed, ran there,
And pretty much
grabbed
laid
his
down.
foot,
Yeah.
and fucking.
So I guess he was at the mall at the time when the crash happened. They backtracked him on cameras through the city and found him, but he was never on the plane.
That's pretty crazy.
So he was looking for sponsorship and social media fame by being this dude who had survived a plane
Oh,
crash.
I thought he would have been looking for like the payout. That the.
That too, probably.
But then it's like, well, I never had a ticket to the fucking.
But the one thing listen, there's a rule when it comes to plane crashes. There's two things they know. There's a black box on the plane, which has the recording of everything that happened. And there's a fucking manifest that has everyone's name on it and to where you were sitting. Now, I don't know who this guy thought he was, that he thought he could get away with this, saying, I'm Joe Schmo and I was sitting in 11A, and you can't prove it.
That just shows you how like
Uneducated people are.
Desperate.
or just silly, right? Like they see
Idiots.
it and they just go like, yo, it's this idea that like right now it's happening in like crypto where so many people are scamming that are like really influential people that all these little peddly scams are happening because people are like, yo, if these guys aren't getting caught, I'm fine. Right? Like they got to go after the big, and most of the resources are also spent going after the big dogs.
True. Yeah.
So they're like, oh well, if everybody like whatever, man, like I can get a little bit of change here and there, and like fuck off somewhere, and like people are busy, man. They got fucking Logan Paul and people making fucking whatever it is and missiles blowing up. Like what the fuck, like.
The world's just fucked up right now, and we're worried about invisible coins.
What's
Don't
really
worry.
scary?
Unserious.
Yeah.
What's
know?
really
Society.
scary though is not the fact that he did this. How many people initially believed him?
Everybody.
Right?
Everybody did.
I believe this.
The memes.
Immediately,
Right.
I was saying I've seen this documentary. It's called Unbreakable.
Bruce
There's a Mr. Glass out there looking for his arch nemesis, and I think he found him.
Yeah.
That's
me the
exactly
beast.
what I was saying. Like, this guy is the dude. Like, there's no one who survives a plane. Like,
Right.
the lone survivor. Even in the movie Lone Survivor,
This guy died.
Mark Wahlberg did not survive, and he did not come back in, like, one piece.
Yeah.
The guy had injuries to shit after that whole true story.
It's,
This guy was
Who were
hoping
they
a movie
fighting
be
in that
made about
movie?
him. Pardon?
they
Who
were
are they
fighting the
fighting in that movie?
Taliban.
Yeah.
Was it Iran?
Yeah, it was they were like at like a disadvantage. They were in like
Yeah.
this like
Yeah, yeah.
cavern and they were getting shot at and shit. And then like they came in and just
Afghanistan.
bombed the fuck out of them. It was
You're in
crazy.
Afghanistan.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, it was Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fighting
okay,
the Taliban.
That
Before
was
the
such
Taliban.
a good fucking movie.
Great movie.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
Me too.
He's a great picture teller.
One of the ones
Ben Foster too.
one of the ones where what was the one that they were in the valley and it was like notorious that like
The
it was-
Outpost.
that
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
another great movie.
It was all right.
They had one guy
Good
that was
story.
acting in the film that was actually there
Yes.
Yeah.
during the events of the
That's like there were quite a few back then at that time. 12 strong.
12 strong. Yeah. Didn't
That's-
they fight on horseback?
Yeah, that's a true
Yeah.
story.
I never
do they
watched it,
do
though.
do they do like I don't know how much military movies I see right now.
Starship Troopers. It's
kind
true.
of dying out.
Yeah.
Documentary about bugs. It's about the future. What's going to happen to us?
Kill them bugs.
They're afraid.
Bro, if bugs are coming, man, maybe we should have kept Iran's nukes around.
Oh, they're still there.
Yeah.
You think that Iran still has nukes?
Yeah, man.
Isn't this a reason just to go in and fight anywhere? They've got this.
We're looking for
They've
peace.
got that.
We want
Dude,
peace.
this is what I don't understand about all this
want
stuff.
peace.
Where like
I want problems.
like people are begging for stuff. Like you look at these riots in LA.
Yes.
And people are begging for stuff. It's like you're talking about like free in Mexico, but like we're in the U.S. Like what's going on
Okay.
here? Like what are we
Well-
like? Can we I get it, man. You want to protest. You want to like talk about all these like civil liberties and shit. Great. You have every right to do that.
Yes.
Go do whatever you want. But just at least have like a good argument, man. You're talking about like how great Mexico is and you're flying a Mexican flag. It's like, so what? Just go there. Just go.
Yeah.
What are we?
People-
What's
like,
going
what
on
are you
here?
waving a Mexican flag for in America?
Yeah,
if
it's
you
just
want to be
like-
in Mexico so bad, go to Mexico.
And like
Yeah.
I get it, man. You're like talking about all this stuff, but it's like, okay, like this is the reason we have rules, man. Like I get it, man, but like your opinions are one thing, but
They're
like
just falling on deaf ears. No
that's
one's
just
gonna
not
do
like reality, right?
Yes,
Where
that's
it's like these people have been working here for years and everything. It's like, okay, one question: are they here legally? Are they here illegally?
it. That does not matter, sir. That does not matter. You don't question me on these things.
Right.
Do not question me.
Right, and like I think it's
That was good.
yeah.
You're on.
But that's the interesting thing, because I again don't know really what's going on, but it just seems like when I look at it and you hear like 2 or 3 people talk, you're like, yeah, or you just go like this. I'm confused.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like you
I'm
said
confused.
before, you have all the right to protest and say your piece, but do you think you're going to inspire change this way?
And it's like compared to like what we got going on in Europe.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they got a little bit of like their argument. Some of the arguments there are like, wait a minute, what? And now we're talking about being in Okay, are we? Do you want the borders to change?
I think that's what they want.
It's like, oh, okay. Well, that's not gonna happen.
That's
So,
not- yeah.
anyways, like, you know how like much California makes for this fucking guy? Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You think they're just gonna be like, oh, it used to be yours in 1739? All right, bet. Here you go. Yeah, write it up. It's like,
We'll just erase history and say that never happened.
or like, oh, you've been here.
It's for
and
peace.
Yeah.
You've been here and been working here for 10 years, but like you came over here illegally. Like, yeah, bet. Here you go. Yeah, fuck, why not?
Forcefully remove you from this area.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful
for peace.
opportunity here in your country.
Well, the funny ones are like, been deported, have fucking $200,000 of student loans and
Just
$60K in credit cards.
Yep.
Thank you. It's like, this guy's doing it right.
Yeah, he did it right.
Yeah,
And he's
this
like,
guy's doing it right.
He's doing the Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. He's like, thank you very much. Thank you. Get
Thank
to
you.
start a new life.
He's walking out
Thank
here
you.
and saying,
Appreciate
and
you.
I'm leaving the country, and I owe them money, and they don't even want me back.
Yeah. He's like, perfect.
Deuces.
Thank you. But dude, it's a crazy world, and I was even asking Emily last night. I was like, what if we just like woke up 2:00 in the morning and it was like you turn on the news, whatever, like nukes dropping. It's like, yo, look, would you even bother moving?
I go back to bed.
It's like, would you even bother moving? Because it's like, what now?
Why is the sun out at 10 p.m.?
Yeah, you're like,
I mean, here,
That's just Alberta, baby.
that's Alberta.
but you would just be like
3
this,
a.m.
like,
Yeah.
all right, man.
The ones that get me actually feeling some type of way is, it's like, yo, Grand Theft Auto 6, 99%
Oh
loaded.
yeah.
It's like, yo, what the fuck?
This game has never happened.
No.
And the only
way,
best
we got
thing about
World
that
War
Yeah.
III
is
before GTA 6?
I've had a lot of time to delay in buying a PS5.
Yeah.
By the time this game comes out, it'll be ready for PS6,
Yeah,
and I'll be happy because I'm like,
Dude.
I'm up to date with everybody.
The fact that people think there's going to be nuclear warfare before GTA 6 comes out.
It concerns me.
Yeah, man.
It's weird, man. It's weird. We've been waiting. Well, first of all, GTA 5 came out for 3 systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GTA 6
I
will
bought
probably
them
do
all.
the same thing.
Yeah, I bought them all.
And, you know, I just wanted to be here now. It's been how many years that we've been waiting? That it was announced? 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, 3.
Dude, and this is like a thing that's like game-wide. Man, like, so you know, like 2K, they put out like locker codes, right?
Yeah.
Game 7 NBA Finals, no lockers code. Fucking New York Liberty and Indiana Sparks, NBA 2K locker code. You're like, what?
That's crazy to me.
You're like, what? Who the fuck made that decision? Like, just so weird, man. And then they said, like, right after the finals, we were supposed to get this free card. And now it's not coming out till the end of the week. And you got to do 5 challenges. I was like, bro, I've done like 82 challenges already. and you told me I was getting this. And
People
it's
are all about letting you down.
just delaying, man.
Yeah.
And then when you get it, it's gonna be like,
Does it feel sweet?
you're gonna be like, oh, this is janky. But credit to Rockstar. Rockstar, I don't think I've like played a game
That I haven't liked.
that I haven't liked and that came out and it was like super buggy.
Even LA
Maybe like
Noire.
Max Payne or LA
Max
Noire.
Payne was one of their first ones, though, but it was still so much
You guys
fun.
ever play Bully?
Bully
Yes,
was good.
Bully was
Buggy.
good.
Bully's
Bully was
clutch.
good.
Yeah, that was a good game. Yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't like recreate a game like that.
But at the same time, this is the only defense I have for Rockstar with whole GTA. It's like, did they disappoint me in any of the games they've done so far?
No.
Yes, I know it takes a while to make
Yeah.
a game.
But do you
But they
think
want to be so
Don't
perfect.
announce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But do you think GTA Online like tainted Rockstar's reputation?
No, because I loved it, and that's what people still do. People still do play the online, even though I
Yeah.
haven't played it in years.
I
If I had a PS5 and was still able to play with more people,
think I'd play.
I'd be playing.
I'd play.
See, and what I was gonna message Mark one of these days and be like, you know what we should do, and you know it'd be really easy,
GTA.
is like do a live stream on the channel
Oh yeah.
of us like ripping GTA, and then all the chat, and then nobody really needs nothing, and then you
do
can
it.
hear everybody through the fucking chats and shit.
You only have a PS5. I only have a PS4. I can't play with you guys.
No, but I mean like
Peasant.
in
Yeah,
the
I know I'm a
future-
peasant.
Yeah, maybe someone will make
Just
a
get the
fucking
digital
anonymous
copy. The
donation,
digital
just
version.
mail
Tell me
PS5.
what to do.
We'll get fucking Sony to sponsor our.
Hey, Sony, if you're listening,
yeah.
we could use a PS5 and some GTA 6. Maybe we could
Yeah.
test it for you.
We're looking to sponsor a host. We're
College Football
taking-
26 comes out soon.
And
so
whoever has a beautiful,
run that.
maybe we'll use a movie theater. We'll rent a movie
What
theater
do you-
for a day. And
What do you think about them coming out with? I watched this guy. He's called like the Angry Reviewer or something, and he like came and like crashed out over Madden.
Is he like a mad rapper?
Aw.
No. He because the Madden 26 trailer came out, and
Oh.
he's like, thank God EA only has like a year left of this agreement, because like apparently their big highlight right now is like,
Oh, do not buy Madden 26.
and it's this big like, yo, this guy loses it,
Yeah,
dude,
he
because
looks
he's
pretty
like,
mad.
yo, we talked about this in like Madden fucking 07
Is
of
it,
like
uh,
different quarterback. Yeah,
John
Chuck,
Alexander was on the cover, though.
look at this dude.
Oh, we don't have to watch it. But-
Okay.
So,
So here's the thing,
basically,
it's like-
he's just really upset.
Because he
Yeah.
just said a
So
lot of this
you-
stuff is like like he said a lot of this is like recycled stuff that they're putting like new names on.
Yeah.
So this is called like the DNA engine
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
dynamic something,
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
And he's like, dude, none of this makes any fucking sense. He was like, you guys are just like, he's like, just say you've redone 8,000 animations.
Because that's
But
all
that's
it is.
that's the thing.
That's the game.
This
He's
guy's
like-
making the exact same video year after year after year after year.
'Cause
I haven't bought Madden in like, I don't know, 4 years.
I think the last one I've played is the one I borrowed from you, which might be like 2014.
I couldn't tell you, man.
You know what I mean? And but nothing's changed in that game. Nothing.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
The mechanics are the same. The only thing that really changes. This is what I've been saying for sports games for years, especially with NHL. You do not need. I know that they need to take our money, but at this point, just make an addition for the game. Do an add-on with an updated roster. Unless you have like a new stadium that comes into play and you want to, like in baseball's stadiums are different than it's different from one to the other. Whereas in hockey, it's all regulation. It's all the same size. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. Same thing with football. Every rink or stadium needs to be the same for that. So we don't need a whole new game. Just give me an update on that. Give me an update on the roster. And then let's continue to go. You get a New Jersey, update that.
You know why I feel sports games are ultimately failing now? It's because people lack the attention span to like, unless you're a diehard NHL fan and you enjoy like the logistics. Say I play like 2K and I'm
Right.
playing like a legit game. It's like, well, to play just like one domination game in my team is probably like 25 minutes, right?
Yep.
So compare that to like a Call of Duty deathmatch.
Yep.
It's like,
get what you're saying.
what's the difference? And
Minutes.
the intensity in a Call of Duty deathmatch is like you're alert for like those 8 minutes.
Yes.
Whereas like with something like I'm playing a domination game, once I get up 20 fucking points, it's like, well, now I'm just buying time, right? Like now I'm just, say I get a lead in the fucking halftime and you're like, all right, well now I just got 2 quarters. And I think that like drives people out because like there's not enough like stimulation, right? Like people, and the only people that get that stimulation are the ones that like enjoy doing like the subs and the shit that like the auto.
So I'm a be a pro player, so like I'll do my career, create my guy, and play my career. That's my route in any sports game that I play.
Right.
My brother is like one of the only people I know. I don't know about you guys, but he does the franchise mode.
Yeah, franchise. What's up?
He loves that, and like to be fair,
That's why
like,
I'm still rocking.
and that's
football.
why, which is fine. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because I think that business aspect or that side of it, it adds a whole new element. You got to look at it. Like I know for like some of the hockey games, you had to develop your scouting and your coaching and your skating and your weight room in order to get your players to achieve better scores and better strength and attributes. And it's just another way of thinking when doing it because it brings you into the live aspect of being a GM to a sports franchise and running it successfully in order to obviously win. And I guess if like you don't understand, like this is how you can really understand a sport. If you don't know a sport, get into it by the franchise mode. And you'll learn everything you need to know about the sport and how to play the sport as well while playing the game. But I think it's another interesting dynamic way of looking at a video game rather than just playing your 60 minutes.
But I think if games don't have like a quick play mode right off the bat, they're already losing like a huge amount of people because I think honestly, like there's times I'll sit and play NBA and go, do I have the time to play a full, you know what I mean? Like, do I have the time to rip like a full game? And then they come out with like clutch time and triple threat and all that type of shit.
Okay.
But I think that's where like you see a lot of that like medium being lost because then you try to create all these modes like shorten the time, but then like the idea of playing that sport is now like corny.
Yes.
Right? Now it's different because you're like, well, that's not what they do. That's not how it works. There's not a 4-point line. Like now it's just stupid, right?
They still have dunk competitions and 3-point competitions in these games.
Yeah, during like the career modes and stuff.
But not even like a quick mode that you can do that online or anything.
No.
See that you bring that back, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I don't know. Sports games are fucking. I don't know.
Depends.
Sports games are weird. You're seeing just a lot of fucking different shit with this rematch. It's like the people that made Rocket League.
Okay.
And it's like this weird like PvP, like, but the way it works, like, Marco, you can pull it up. Rematch.
Game, bro. Look it
like
up.
A soccer style, like, it's a really weird game.
It's on Steam.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think Lewis used to play this on his phone. I think.
Lewis ain't shit, bro.
I know that. I mean,
Sweet
whatever.
Lou.
What do you want me to look up about this game?
Just like just pull it up on our
Pull
screen.
it up on our
like
screen so
the
we can see
art
it.
style.
We want to look at it.
I don't want to show you.
Okay. And oh, it sounds so intense.
Like, look at it. It's so weird, man. But it's like, this is what people want, man. This game's going bazingas right now.
Bonkers, eh? What do you play it on? Computer?
You can play it on PS5.
Say
You
what?
can play it
Of course,
on.
it's PS5.
But it's weird because like that doesn't look like something I would enjoy
I think
at
you would.
all.
I think you would. I'd play this.
This looks zesty as fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
But I also haven't played Rocket League in ages.
But I'm
Rocket
also
League, I'm like a
zesty.
I'm a character in Rocket League.
You're back in Rocket League.
I'm not good.
Yeah, I'm not a good Rocket League player.
And what's
I
the
just,
other
Rocket
game?
League game.
the angles of that game are
Fall
too much
Guy.
for me.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
That's how
is
you
simple.
play.
Oh, dude, I like Fall Guys. I've won. See, like people always ask me, like, it's always judging, like, how good are you at Fall Guys? It's like, well, I don't know. They're like, have you won? I'm like, Yeah, I've won probably like 5 times in the 900 that I've played.
What do you think is the most important skill for Fall Guy? The timing or like the fast twitch?
Timing. Timing is way better. Way more important.
With the mines are like the spinny things where you try to like land on the jumping things. Yeah, that or the ones where you have to like dodge stuff. No thanks.
You don't like to dodge the hippopotamuses?
Yeah, and then when your guy falls down, it's super obnoxious because it takes an exorbitantly long time. And you're like, bro, get up, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But fun game. I enjoy it.
What else we got going on? Anything else before we want to wrap this up?
Oh, I just wanted to comment on the 2026 World Cup.
Canada, Mexico, U.S.
Yeah.
Iran also qualifies.
Yeah.
I was talking about
there's 11
locations.
U.S. locations that they're going to be playing games in.
And there's, 3 for Canada?
Vancouver,
Toronto,
BC,
Vancouver,
and Montreal.
BC.
Oh, Toronto, Vancouver.
Toronto.
Because it's not here. I know there's no games here.
No.
So I think Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, I think, are the 3 spots.
And what was interesting is every stadium...
Just Toronto and Vancouver.
Every stadium in the U.S. was not... Because FIFA has their own sponsorships. So when they called the stadiums, they had to, like, remove MetLife. So it was just New York Stadium, New Jersey Stadium, Boston Stadium.
That's so stupid.
So they have to actually, when the World Cup comes, they have to put banners over all of the arena sponsors. They're not allowed to have any arena sponsors.
Yeah, because the final match is going to be MetLife in New
York.
Jersey.
Yeah, but it's just called New Jersey Stadium.
That's crazy.
So dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb.
Yeah, Atlanta Stadium, no Mercedes-Benz.
$1.3 billion stadium that we've
Yeah, and now we
sponsored,
can't.
and we can't even have that sponsored.
I was talking to guys at work, and they're like, "Yo, my tickets go on sale soon. They're trying to get their tickets." I'm like, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see a World Cup game.
I would go to one in the U.S. You would be way...
So the guy I was talking
probably
to
half
work,
the price.
I think it's half the price. It's cheaper to go in the States.
Yeah.
So he's looking at going down there. I'm not sure where he was looking at going,
But look at all the locations, man. It's like
there's
you throw a dart on the map, man, and you can find a World Cup stadium.
like these games in Canada are going to be sold out immediately.
Oh, yeah.
BMO's got, what, 28,000 it says?
You know?
Yeah,
It's
dude, and
expanded
these
to
aren't
45.
even, compared to the U.S., these are fucking
Tiny
tiny
stadiums, yeah.
tiny stadiums. But I
also say
remember when I
Vancouver?
went and watched the New York Red Bulls. Is that at MetLife? No, it's not.
I'm not sure where they play.
They play in New Jersey, but it was
But see, what I mean is, like, I know in
and
Philly,
going there, man, when those guys cheered, you would literally see everything fucking vibrate. And you're
Wow.
like, oh my God, there's going to be a riot.
in Philly has all of their stadiums on the same block, except for the soccer stadium. Soccer stadiums elsewhere in the city. So that's what I mean. It's like
Get them
even
all
though
playing at the
they
same night,
have-
cause an earthquake.
They have the Eagles stadium they can play at, but they don't play there. Each team has their own spot, and theirs is elsewhere in the city. So I just know that they don't share a field with anybody. Is what I'm getting at.
And then you take the stadiums in the U.S. and compare them to like the stadiums that they had at like the Mexico World Cup,
Yeah,
where those were like,
massive.
okay, let's settle down. The guy's at the top of the earth looking at this match where he's using binoculars to watch the people play. You're like, okay, we've won.
When
We beat this level, guys.
Yeah, when I was in Portugal, we were in the third bowl, I think, but we were still in decent spots. Like, it wasn't terrible. Maybe you could still see.
Right.
But going to a soccer game in Europe is something else. So the visiting team is situated in its own area. They are allowed to, they enter the game first before any of the home fans enter, and they leave the game at the end.
Right.
And they're in like so it's like a section, but it's
like behind the
it's
net,
like a V.
isn't it?
It's like a V in the top, and then it's guarded by police all around, and then it's plexiglass all the way to the roof.
Jesus Christ.
And I was talking to my buddy about it, I'm like, this is, like, why? He's like, because, man, it can get pretty bad. And as we're leaving, what is my buddy doing? Chirping these idiots behind the glass. I'm like, they can't even hear you.
The window warrior.
Like, let's go, man. I don't want to get out of here. But they also didn't serve booze in the stadium either. They serve non-alcoholics, just not alcoholic beer.
Yeah, because people get too
Yeah,
fucking
and they
rowdy,
might-
bro.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and then they go like kill the
Here,
ref
you want
or
this
something.
flare landing on top of your head?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
facts. Oh,
Yeah.
what do we got?
Just
Shouting
wanna
out.
comment on that.
What do we got for shout outs?
There's two things actually I wanted to mention. The first thing is last week, MFN training, when we'd spoken about her training and strength conditioning. If you're looking for a trainer in the city, give her a look up. You can book with her online. It's m.f.n training. Not just individuals. If you're on a sports team and your coach can hear this right now, and you want some strength and conditioning for your team, get in contact with them, and she will plan something out for you guys and hook you up. So soccer teams, baseball teams, rugby teams, whatever kind of team you are, or athlete,
Run it.
look them up.
Run it.
Also, the other thing was we said last week when we were asking the questions,
The week before.
or 2 weeks ago, sorry, our Toronto viewer asked us one question which we bookmarked for homework, and I'm sure everyone forgot how to do that.
Yeah.
So the question was, if you could remake any movie with a certain or specific cast, who would it be?
Shawshank Redemption.
It's
Yeah.
already being done, but yeah.
For
They're
real?
remaking it?
Yeah, they're remaking it.
Shutter Island.
Well, okay, fine.
And
He's like
I
10
would.
years old.
And okay, sorry. My apologies.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a
As you should.
stipulation.
Yeah, no stipulations, man.
Right?
Sorry.
Don't be judging, man.
Go on.
No, I want to change that.
Okay, man, this is the last change you get.
You
I
had 2
want
weeks,
them to
man.
remake Paranormal Activity,
Paranormal Activity.
and I want
Mila
it to
Jovovich.
and I want them to do it with the guy that was in Home Alone.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he was just in a Broadway play that I want to see,
Kevin.
and I would want him to play as the actor.
Okay, yeah, all right, that's fair. I can see
Makes
that.
sense?
That's
Maybe not.
Mine was Rain Man.
Ooh, good one.
Dustin
good
Hoffman.
one.
Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Dustin Hoffman's character will be played by none other. Think about this. Bear with me, people.
Never go full.
Michael Cera.
Okay.
As the
As, yes, the mentally challenged character played by Dustin Hoffman. Yes.
Well, he is kind of already.
And
I think he's got the
to
look there.
play,
For
but he might not
sure.
have the look. But imagine he had, I think he'd do very well. I think.
Or that dude
Michael
from
Cera,
Good
if you can hear
Doctor.
me? What?
The dude from Good Doctor.
Oh, I hate that dude.
Oh no.
That dude's kind of.
I am a surgeon.
If
his
Michael
voice,
Cera
yeah.
can hear me, I think you could possibly win an Oscar for this if you decided to do a remake of Rain Man. And Andrew Garfield would play Tom Cruise's character.
Okay, I can see that. I
That
can
would
see
be. Yeah. That.
that. Who's your Bonnie Hunt?
Jennifer
Anna
Lawrence.
de Armas.
Nah, Michelle Williams.
What? Really? I'm not a fan of her.
Jessica Alba.
Gatsby didn't do it for me.
She's
This
not
guy's
great.
chasing
They're not great in everything.
There's a
you know?
Michelle Williams mid, bro.
Ooh.
Jay Gatsby out here chasing mid.
Fine.
See this?
Let's get Florence Pugh back.
Yep.
Let's let Florence and Andrew do some stuff together.
Have her jump off the top of the tallest building in the
Ooh,
world?
baby.
Let's do it.
She does it all.
You got one, Mark?
I don't have a movie, but I got a plug.
Let's hear it.
Big shout out to Mr. Bryce Kenneth.
Ooh, baby. Yeah, our boy.
Looks like he signed a massive,
DJ Bryce.
massive deal with. or
Let's
his
go.
His track is signed to a massive label.
Hey. That's right. You did talk about this today.
Yeah,
So,
it's high quality in ethno, deep house, and oriental music.
Let's
And,
go.
yeah,
congratulations to DJ Bryce
the
Kenneth.
first of many big steps for him in his DJ career.
Does he have
awesome.
any events coming up here in the?
Not for a little bit, I don't think.
No.
We need to get on top of that.
Yeah, he just got back from what was it? Portugal.
Yep.
What you got?
Portugal.
His trip
Lisbon.
sounded sick.
It's good, man. If you've never been to Portugal, I highly recommend it. It's a hell of a good time. There's a lot of culture, good food. Beaches are nice. The
We'll
women
have
are
to
great.
get him on.
Yeah.
We'll have to get him on to talk about it. I know he's going to come on for Solo Spotlight.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Maybe we double down and do a double feature with him like we did with Dennis.
Group podcast.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We do the
Yeah.
solo interview and then we do the our recording. with
I'm
them.
down with that.
Yeah, we'll try to figure that out.
Chill, boy.
Yeah. Shout outs. You got
Yeah, that was it. That
Yeah.
was it. Just MFN.
like we discuss everywhere, we are hosted on our audio platforms by rss.com. If you're looking to start your own podcast, use our affiliate link below. Supporting us by using our affiliate link will help grow our channel, as well as get you benefits through using our link. With that, check out our links below. This has been The Conversationalist, episode 41. We out here.
It's been a slice, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you guys soon.
See you next week.